Howdy, Morrissey from Woodsmith. Today I'm going to talk through a selection of what we consider to be some of the best draw knives for traditional greenwood craft. We decided to do this video because we often get asked which is the best draw knife, and truth be told, it depends on multiple factors, such as the proposed use, your budget, and whether you'd be happy with the aesthetic of a production tool, or maybe you have your heart set on a very handmade tool. This video will outline the best features and potential weaknesses of each of the draw knives we've selected, based on our practical experience and knowledge as craftspeople, woodcraft tutors and tool retailers. Before I get going, if you like today's video and find it useful, please remember to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy. As suppliers of traditional greenwood tools for more than 20 years, we consider a draw knife to be an essential part of a green woodcraft toolkit. Whether it's for completing the rounding up of a billet in readiness for turning on a pole lathe, starting the blanking out process for a new axe handle, or shaping the components for a cleft gate, a draw knife serves numerous uses. It's a straightforward and uncomplicated tool that should be both efficient and enjoyable to use. Despite it being an uncomplicated tool, there are those draw knives that work easily and accurately with control, and there are those that are just hard work, difficult to control and not satisfying to use. So it's important when selecting a draw knife to know what its strengths and weaknesses are. Today, there are many manufacturers of draw knives who have responded in recent years to the resurgence of interest in traditional woodcraft using hand tools. Despite this, we don't stock all brands of draw knives. We can't. There are simply too many. However, our selected brands are carefully chosen to cover most bases exceptionally well. We have a long history of working with these brands and gained extensive knowledge and understanding of the companies and their products. Today we're looking at draw knives from UK makers Ray Iles, Swedish toolsmiths Svante Djärv and German makers Ochsenkopf. Most of the draw knives I'll cover today will require a final hone before use. If this is something you would like us to do, make sure to tick the honing checkbox when ordering online. Also, it's worth mentioning that with the exception of the Svante Djärv draw knives, all draw knives come without a sheath. However, we highly recommend considering one to protect your sharp blade. We stock extremely durable leather and wooden sheaths that are also available for purchase from Woodsmith. Firstly, the Ray Iles large draw knife has to be given serious consideration when looking for an all-round draw knife for green woodworking. Ray is one of the UK's most experienced makers of durable tools for woodworkers. One of his many special skills is identifying what woodworkers need from a tool and then planning the most efficient production method to make it. He's got the knack of making exceptionally no-nonsense tools that won't break the bank. The Ray Iles large draw knife has a useful cutting edge length of 8.5 inches or 250mm with comfortable 4-inch beech handles. The high carbon blade is in line with the handles, so it works bevel down. The bevel comes usefully hollow ground, but the cutting edge will require a final hone before use. This in reality is a pretty unremarkable tool, but it does most jobs really well. We'd prefer the bevel to be longer for extra support and control when sharpening, but it shouldn't be a deal breaker. At the time of filming, the cost of the Ray Iles draw knife is £62. As an alternative, Ray Iles also makes a large draw knife Abbott pattern. Visually very similar to the standard Ray Iles large draw knife, but the handles are cranked down, so it has versatility to be used bevel up or bevel down. Most of the time it'll be used bevel down, including when working on concave features. When more accurate fine control is required, use it bevel up. This draw knife has to be given serious consideration when looking for an all-round draw knife for green woodworking without breaking the bank. At the time of filming, the Ray Iles large draw knife Abbott pattern comes in at the very reasonable price point of £69. The Ray Iles small draw knife shares much of the specification of the larger standard Ray Iles large draw knife. The dimensions are similar, but with a shorter 6-inch cutting edge. It shares the same comfortable 4-inch beech handles, For many greenwood working tasks, the cutting edge is a little too short for long slicing cuts as an all-round drawknife. It's functionally quite limited. However, for small work or inexperienced hands, it's a good choice. The bevel comes usefully hollow ground, but the cutting edge will require a final hone before use. And at the time of filming, the price of the Ray Iles small drawknife costs £55. Up next is the Ray Iles gentleman's drawknife. It's unashamedly a replica of an old pattern, superbly reproduced by Ray. It feels very well proportioned with a fairly narrow 6-inch blade, so it will turn quite quickly on concave features. The handles are a traditional pattern made from beautiful yew. Because of its size, it can't be considered an all-rounder, but for small detailed work or for small hands, it's perfect. At the time of filming, the Ray Iles gentleman's drawknife cost £79. The Ochsenkopf drawknife 225mm has a usefully long cutting edge of 225mm or 9 inches, so it's a good length for efficient slicing control. Very much a factory-made tool produced in large production runs. The feature that distinguishes this drawknife from the others is handles that are dropped. This makes the tool work most efficiently bevel up. The bevels are large, so useful for support and easy sharpening. The tool comes ground but will need honing prior to use. The wooden handles are traditionally shaped and painted black. At the time of filming, the Ochsenkopf drawknife 225mm costs £66. The Ochsenkopf drawknife 250mm is virtually identical to the Ochsenkopf's drawknife 225mm, but with a longer 250mm or 10-inch cutting edge. The longer edge permits a better slicing action or when working on wider material to save your knuckles getting grazed. At the time of filming, the Ochsenkopf drawknife 250mm cost £69. Swedish maker Svante Djärv Handverk produce a wide range of premium hand tools for traditional woodcraft, including a small range of drawknives. The Svante Djärv drawknife 270mm has a cutting edge of 270mm at 10.5 inches, which is a great length for long efficient slicing action for precise shaving cuts. The handles are cranked down so it can be used bevel up or bevel down. They're also cranked slightly out, so it makes it less likely that you graze your knuckles, especially when doing slicing cuts. Most of the time you'll use this tool bevel down, when rounding up smaller diameter billets for the pole head, for example. The other drawknives here have flat blades, but this blade is uncommonly curved along its length, so with the bevel up, it will flatten surfaces such as the bottom of wooden bowls. The traditionally shaped handles are made from beautiful Swedish elm. It would benefit from a final hone before use and comes as standard with a one-piece Woodsmith leather sheath. A premium handmade tool that would be a joy to use and own. The Svante Djärv drawknife 270mm is, in our opinion, a perfect all-rounder that will tackle most tasks demanded of a drawknife and one of our particular favourites. At the time of filming, the Svante Djärv drawknife 270mm costs £179 and it comes complete with a leather sheath. The Svante Djärv drawknife 200mm is a significantly lighter tool at about 150 grams. With a cutting edge of 200mm or 8 inches, it would be difficult to think of it as an all-round drawknife for everyday tasks. However, its lightness and fine edge make it a great choice when small amounts of wood needs to be removed in a controlled, accurate way. The fine ribbed handles are made from Swedish elm. Comes as standard with a one-piece Woodsmith leather sheath, and it would benefit from a final hone before use. At the time of filming, the Svante Djärv drawknife 200mm costs £119. The Svante Djärv drawknife 140mm is very similar to the Svante Djärv drawknife 200mm, but with a smaller cutting edge of only 140mm or 5.5 inches. Perfect again for fine accurate work or for younger woodworkers. At the time of filming, the Svante Djärv drawknife 140mm costs £117. In this video today, we've featured drawknives from 3 of our favourite toolmakers, Ray Iles, Ochsenkopf and Svante Djärv. All 3 makers produce tools that are all very different to each other, but they are all easy to use and work in a wide range of situations and should last a lifetime. Importantly, these tools will all take and keep an exceptional edge. If you like your tools to have a brute de forge, straight from the forge aesthetic, then you will undoubtedly be drawn to the tools of Svante Djärv. If that's not so important, then the less costly tools of Ray Iles and Ochsenkopf may look more attractive. We hope you found this video useful and helped you make an informed decision on the best draw knives for you to buy. If there is something we've not covered, please leave a message on this video in the comments below, and we'll try our best to answer any additional specific questions you might have. Finally, I'd just like to mention that Woodsmith is not just online. Most of our tools are here on display at our small but well-stocked walk-in store. So if you're someone who likes to get your hands on tools before you buy, and you happen to be passing in the northeast of England, then do consider calling in to see us. You'll receive a warm welcome and expert advice. Again, if you've enjoyed this video, please do remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, hope you found it useful, and see you again soon.